We're going to review the freeandclear.com VA Mortgage Qualification Calculator, which is a mortgage calculator that allows you to determine the size of VA mortgage you qualify for, the upfront VA funding fee a borrower is required to pay when they obtain a VA mortgage, and the VA loan limit in your county. To find the VA Mortgage Qualification Calculator, simply click on the Mortgage Calculator tab on the top left of any page on freeandclear.com, and that will take you to a page that lists all the calculators available on Free and Clear. The VA Mortgage Qualification Calculator is at the bottom of the page, listed under Government Mortgage Program Calculators. If you click on the triangle to the right of the calculator title, it reveals a brief description of the calculator. I'm going to go ahead and click on the title, which will take us to the calculator page. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, also known as the VA, offers the VA Home Loan Program for active and retired military personnel that enables them to purchase homes with no down payment and at attractive interest rates. The VA Home Loan Program is a great program that makes homeownership more attainable for our military and veterans, but there are limits to the size of mortgage you can obtain, and the borrower is required to pay an upfront VA funding fee in addition to other loan closing costs. The loan limits vary by county, and the funding fee depends on the size of the down payment, whether the borrower is active military as opposed to being in the reserves or National Guard, and if the borrower is using the VA program for the first time. I'm going to walk through the calculator now. It's important to highlight that if you ever have a question about an input, simply hover your cursor over the icon to the left of any input rectangle and it reveals a brief description of the input and the information required. The first input is our class of military service, which is one of the factors that determines the size of the VA funding fee. If you click on the drop-down menu, you see that our options are regular military or reserve/National Guard. I'm going to select regular military. The second input asks if this is your first time using your VA mortgage eligibility. In other words, is this your first time using the VA program? This is another factor that determines the VA funding fee. I'm going to select yes. This is our first time using the VA mortgage program. The next input is monthly gross income. We want to emphasize that this is gross income, so your income before any deductions such as taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. Please note that if you are applying for this mortgage with a spouse or partner, this input should also include your spouse's gross income. I'm going to input $6,500 for our monthly gross income. The next input is total monthly debt. This includes any recurring debt that you pay on a monthly basis, such as a car loan, credit card, or student loan payment. I'm going to use $400 in monthly debt in this example. The next input is interest rate. If you hover your cursor over the icon to the left of the drop-down menu, it shows the current interest rate for a 30-year VA mortgage. In this case, the current interest rate is approximately 4.125%. If you click on the drop-down menu, it reveals a wide range of interest rate options, and I'm going to select 4.125. The next input is mortgage term, or the length of mortgage in years. If you click on the drop-down menu, it reveals options from 10 years all the way to 50 years. I'm going to select 30 years because this is the most popular term for a mortgage. The next input is down payment, or how much of the property purchase price you are contributing. Down payment is another factor that determines the VA funding fee. The VA loan program allows you to obtain a mortgage with no down payment, so I'm going to select 0 for our down payment. The final two inputs ask the state where you are buying the property and the county where you are buying the property. These inputs are used to calculate the loan limit in your county. I'm going to select California for our state, and using the drop-down menu, I'm going to select San Diego for our county. I've submitted all the inputs, and now I'm going to click the Calculate button, which will produce our outputs. The first output is the estimated mortgage amount that we qualify for, which is based upon our monthly gross income and total monthly debt. The second output is the VA mortgage limit in the county that we inputted. And what we can see is that our estimated mortgage amount is below the VA limit in our county. The next output is the estimated price of the property that we can afford. This is based upon the size of mortgage we qualify for and the amount of down payment we're making. In this case, we're not making any down payment, so the estimated price of the property we can afford equals the mortgage amount that we can afford. The next output is the loan-to-value ratio. This is the size of the loan divided by the estimated price of the property we can afford. Again, because we're not making a down payment, our loan-to-value ratio is 100%. The next output is the estimated monthly mortgage payment. That's based upon the mortgage amount that we qualify for and the interest rate and mortgage term that we've selected. The next output is estimated monthly housing expense, which includes our estimated monthly mortgage payment plus property taxes and insurance. Please note that property taxes and insurance are estimated only, and you should consult with your local service providers to understand the property tax and insurance rates in your county. The next output is the 41% rule check, which looks at total monthly housing expense plus your total monthly debt as a percentage of your monthly gross income. This is also known as a debt-to-income ratio. There are no set rules, but lender guidelines for a VA loan typically allow you to have a maximum debt-to-income ratio of 41%, which means that you can spend a maximum of 41% of your monthly gross income on your combined monthly housing expense and other monthly debts such as credit card, auto, and student loans. The VA also requires that the borrower have a minimum level of residual or leftover income after accounting for the monthly mortgage payment and other expenses. Final output is the VA funding fee, which is the upfront fee the borrower is required to pay when they obtain a VA mortgage. The fee may be paid in cash or added to the mortgage amount, or a combination of the two, as long as the total mortgage amount does not exceed the VA mortgage limit. It's important to highlight that you can change the calculator inputs without having to refresh the page. So if I change our down payment from 0 to 5% and click the calculate button, the outputs update automatically without having to refresh the page. As you can see, because we changed the down payment, our VA funding fee changed and our loan to value ratio changed, along with the estimated price of the property we can afford because we're now making a down payment. After you've reviewed the calculator scenarios that apply to you, you can click on the compare lenders button at the bottom of the outputs to review a table with interest rates and fees from lenders in your area. If you're interested in a VA loan, you can select VA loans on the bottom left of the page, and the lender table will update automatically. If you have any questions about the VA mortgage qualification calculator or any mortgage topic, you can always click on the Ask an Expert button at the top of any page on freeandclear.com, and it will take you to the Free and Clear Ask a Mortgage Expert feature where you can submit your question. The feature is free to use and we never spam. We also encourage you to review other resources on freeandclear.com that cover the VA Home Loan Program, including our comprehensive review of the VA Home Loan Program in our mortgage program section and our VA Home Loan Analysis example document that borrowers submit to determine their ability to qualify for a VA loan. Thank you for reviewing the freeandclear.com VA Mortgage Qualification Calculator.